Benevolent leadership from the stars have come to Earth to work with us to create a magical school. As a group of light workers, we have come together and are creating a consortium to serve the highest good of the collective in sharing hope, possibility, and freedom, while providing a refuge from the chaos of the great change.
Welcome to the School of Light podcast. Typically, I am your host, Deborah LeeAnn, and today we're doing a switcheroo. I get to have the opportunity of a guest host by the name of Aurora Farber. She's going to take it over from here. Welcome, Aurora.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so fun. I get to play host with you and welcoming you and all of our listeners here. And this is our opportunity to get a flavor, a sense of your light, Deborah. So I just want to welcome you and just kind of feel into what, my first question, I guess, is what brought you to this whole world of light, of magic, of metaphysics?
Oh my goodness. That's a long question. I have long been a nature lover, and from as early as I can remember, playing outside in the sunlight has always been a thing for me. I grew up close to a beach and we spent a lot of time there. So the water and the light. And the other thing that I remember really early is falling in love with the moon and the moonlight. So it has been a constant love affair, I would say, from early. Then in terms of intuitive experiences and just being guided by magic. I was one of those people who everybody used to say, how is it that you just fall into these opportunities, that you get to have a meeting seriously at Lake Geneva in Switzerland for your company? How do you get to fly? They're just, these things would just happen. And they were, it took me a while to realize that was part of me that helped make that happen. I just thought it was, serendipitous luck or whatever, which is actually one of my gene keys. And then when I was bigger, it came out more after I had my children. I think I started to see the world through their eyes again and got to re-experience magic. And they're both extremely intuitive, and that just lit all that up. So there was a mystery school and a magic school and a variety of other things around feminine energy that I fell in love with. And Native American spirituality and pagan rites. All of that came about pretty much in my second chapter of life. And now I've kind of molded it all into who I am and what I do in the world.
That's so beautiful. As you're telling your story, I get this sense of how you received so much of your knowing through grounding with the earth and being in the elements and being with the stars and the moon, the cosmos, like that sense of nature holding you. And then through your own experience of holding and, having your own children.
Yes.
Relive it again, like that magic, and then birthing your business and all the different things, your kind of creative fire into the world.
That's such a beautiful way to hear it back, relayed from you. Thank you.
Yeah. So there feels like there's a real strong energy of creativity inside of you and communion. That's what I'm feeling.
Yes. It's taken a while for all of the jangly bits to fall into place because I wanted to disown things or call other parts of me forward. And I've learned that that's not the way it works. It tends to be a dance, which is interesting because that is my life's work, is to be a dancer of being. And that just, once I put that together through my profile, I just went, yes, that's who I am. And when I teach, especially through feminine energy practices, women how to be seen and how to hold their energy, it lights them up in a way that they can be seen and heard and respected as leaders.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, what you're talking about, that sense of dancing in the mystery of being able to, navigate in the unknown without the clear path laid out. That seems like once you discovered that is your nature, that really connected something.
It did.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of unlearning after being a strategic planning person for many years. I always had the 5 or 10 year plan. And I also did that with my work and in consulting. So it was a lot of unlearning to, I can go with the flow. I can show up without a 10-point several bullet agenda to lead the meeting and now when I do trainings, people are always like, send us your slides ahead of time. And I'm like, I don't know which ones I'm going to use it's hard for me to put myself back into the box. It's like the genie is out of the bottle now.
Yes, exactly. And I know before we were, recording, we were talking about specifically this gene key about seriousness that moves to ecstasy via delight. And it sounds like through just coming in attunement with your own pathway, this new way of being in the world, that was one way that you were able to unlock that, like to get out of that seriousness of that corporate strategic, kind of shine the light directly, laser focused light.
Yes.
Different kind of light, right?
So different and so much softer, right? And a lot of that was for me to learn to soften and open. And that's when our natural light can be seen, can be felt, can be enjoyed by ourselves and others. And I still am held tightly in some ways. And we have wounding, and I keep talking about unwinding the wounding, and it's a never ending process. But I noticed that the opening and softening and lightening up literally is what works for me.
Yeah, I'm curious, for anyone that's listening, and perhaps they might have this feeling of constriction that you just think in their body or in their life, or maybe there's some block that seems to keep them from feeling this lightness. What words, so we can put this beingness to the test here.
Okay, let's do it. Let's
go. What is that wisdom that's dropping in to your body right now regarding how someone who might feel some kind of constriction, what's something that you could share with them?
Well, immediately I felt my shoulders start creeping up and the tenseness growing in especially my left shoulder. Old injuries, long stories, many stories. And the first thing I would do is to just slow down. Slowing down our speech, slowing down our breath, slowing down our rhythms so that we are in more of a tune with the earth. And by that, it's the Schumann resonance, right? It's the coming down, so that you're matching your heartbeat with that of her, Gaia. And it allows us to just drop into beingness, right? And so it would be a breath work. It would also be, is there a way that you can just stop, literally stop what you're doing and go outside or look outside or look at a piece of nature? I have 2 plants in my office that are helpful for that. And there's a huge grandmother oak tree that is such a source of guidance and calming and serenity for me several times when I get stuck, and I'm just, so that slowing down and just feeling, where is it tight? Oh, my shoulder. Oh, let me send it some light and love. It just brings it all down, and it all opens, and it creates the space for inspiration,
Mm.
for serenity, for peace to all come through. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful answer. And even as you spoke that, just the slowing down of our speech, kind of I was noticing in my own body where I'm tight. And then it's almost just giving presence to it rather than allowing our mind to keep turning and spinning and winding, just this coming into harmony, like you said.
Oh, I love the word harmony. Yes. It's not like I'm telling it to stop. I'm going, oh, hello, dear one. I see you. Doesn't this feel better to do it this way? So it's more of a suggestion and it feels like I become into, I love the fact that you said community, or being in that space of connectedness is, I guess, the word I want to use.
Communion, I think.
Communion is the word you use. Of course, I couldn't remember. Isn't that funny? Such a beautiful word. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even as you're sharing this, I feel that sense of Gaia, that sense of holding when you first shared your story of how you came to embrace your own light. Just even this reference to tuning in to the Schumann resonance, to allowing ourselves to slow down, that really brings a softening and opening to the moment, which is so beautiful. Like it's an embodied feeling. And I love that you shared that. What does that say?
Can you see it?
Oh, it says soften and open.
The reminder just came up on my phone. I laughing because it's been a mantra of mine for a long time. And one of the things I try to teach is when we feel the constriction, there's a mantra and a movement and a mood that we want to move towards instead of the constriction. That's a longer teaching that we have time for here. But one of my mantras is soften and open. And I chant it through the day sometimes. And I literally have it on my phone as a reminder at 5 p.m. every day. So
that is so funny. And then I love how synchronistically that this came in right here in this moment. I mean, you can't make this up. I think in the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd says that intuition is the way that the universe speaks to you. So I feel like that's just another kind of link to all of us, anyone listening, that yes, soften and open. And open. It's such a different way of being in the world, especially now when there can be so much heaviness, so much seriousness. And so as I've been playing with light in my own experience, I've noticed that there are different qualities of light. Like there's light in the sense of the frequency, the light, the rays of the sun. But then there's also the light of lightness,
of joy and bliss.
The opposite of heaviness.
Right.
So I'm wondering, what's coming to you as you feel into, this is the school of light. And so I'm feeling how it is a school of light, of learning, of, receiving information, but it's also the school of lightness.
Yes. As she waves her wand, which you can't see.
That's right. I have a rainbow wand. So yeah, I know that we both share one of the Gene Keys about seriousness, delight, and ecstasy. So what do you have to say? What does your light heart have to say that is so soft and open now?
Oh, yes. I used to think that it meant that I had to be laughing and giddy. And even though that is a beautiful place to operate from, things are so magical when I am there that things just like fall into my life. It is magical. And the lighten up piece of just not holding things so tightly. And again, there's that constriction, right? We hold on to ideas and people and relationships and thoughts that it has to look this way. And just letting go all of that and letting it be light. So there's a combination. There's also, I look at the difference between sunlight, moonlight, the earth starlight, and regular starlight, in the night sky. Such different vibratory light, And years ago, when I was in a magic school, one of the women doing a practice with me said, "You're such a moonlight girl." She says, "Your light tends to be softer, and that feels better to your system." And I remember thinking that I'm not a sunlight, go out, hit people over the head kind of person. I prefer to invite or, just shine this softer light of opportunity to go in this direction, whether it's guiding them in a training or in a coaching session. And it's interesting to me how that is so much more in tune with what our bodies are craving, our souls are needing right now.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. I love that. I can't wait for you to do a deeper teaching on the different kinds of light. And
it'll be fun. Yep.
Oh, yes, I love that.
That's next chapter. That's not yet.
That's right. Well,
coming soon.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, I'm just feeling deep gratitude for this conversation, for this way in which we are weaving light into the birthing of the school.
Yeah.
Light that has many meanings, many frequencies, light that we each hold with our own frequency, our own heart light. And so I'm so grateful to, have had this chance to speak with you about this. And I'm wondering, is there anything else that you would like to share when you drop in for our listeners?
Oh, let me just check. I see in my mind the image of years and years ago. There was an image that I used on a lot of my communications to my list. And it was a statue of a woman with, that was cracked. There was a crack down the center of her with this light beaming out from her center. And I feel that once we start really owning our darkness, our the stuff that we don't want people to know about us, right? Or the heavy places within, once we start just allowing them to be there, they also soften and turn into light. And so there's this, I want everyone there's something so important about embracing all of yourself. You don't have to get rid of anything, it's lightening up the way that we hold ourselves. It's lightening up versus that judging of, or the trying to get rid of fear. I love that one. Oh, I'll help you get rid of your fear. No, the fear is helpful. Hello, fear. What do you have to tell me? That kind of thing. And it feels very much that we need to fall in love and embrace ourselves right now. Because when we are judging ourselves, how can we possibly walk through the world without judging others? And we need more love and light on the planet.
Yes. I wish I had something to ring this out. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. We need more. There we go. With your bell. Yes, we need more love and light on the planet. And, that phrase for some, people will say, oh, that's cliche. This phrase of love and light. And when you really drop into it and you feel and allow your heart to soften and open into love and allowance and forgiveness and lack of judgment, and allow that light to come in.
Yeah.
That is something real. That is not cliche. It is powerful and empowering.
Absolutely. That's how my manifesto ends, is the last line is where love equals power.
Mm.
You know, I just feel that women leaders are the ones that are here to lead the way through it, no matter how they are leading their lives. It doesn't matter whether it's the big corporate role or the leading a family or leading a committee. It doesn't matter. Each of us has a job of our own self-compassion work so that we can create more compassion on the planet and birth more of that, right?
That's right. Yeah, we hold
yeah.
that magic, amazing skill of birthing. And so, yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you that I also feel that women leaders are the ones to light the way. So thank you for
Yeah.
all that you've shared today, Deborah. It's been so fun. And I'm wondering if anyone wants to find you, get a hold of you, get some more of your light. Where can they reach you and find you?
I am at Deborah LeeAnn. That's 2 E's and 2 N's.com. And it's Deborah LeeAnn on Facebook and Deborah LeeAnn Morley, I think, on some of my other social media. LinkedIn is where I'm the most active. And YouTube. I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So they can hear what's going on with me there. So
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. This was a really fun conversation. I had no idea where we were going to go, and this made it just delightful. How about that?
Yes, I feel that too. And I thank you for your presence. And one thing that's coming to me intuitively is I feel like I'm seeing a daffodil. And I feel that you today, with your wisdom and your love and light, have blown on that daffodil and scattered some seeds of softening, of allowance, of non-judgment, of forgiveness, of love, and especially self-love. So thank you for scattering those seeds out, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere as we come into spring.
Yes. And now I want to go out and take pictures of my daffodils. Okay, will do. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much. And we'll see everyone at our next episode. Take good care.